Hey guys, Jeremy here with Loxloy Mains. I'm a member of a Facebook group called Coturnix Quail. Terry down there that started it, runs it. It's a pretty awesome guy. Really like him a lot, everything that he's done. It's a very useful tool, but we get a lot of questions on, hey, I'm new to quail, what do I need to know, this type of stuff. So I'm going to give you the facts as I see them. May or may not be different, may or may not be what you want to hear, but this is how we got started, and this is how a lot of people get started. But you see this over here? That's called a blueprint, and there is not a blueprint on how you should raise quail. Everybody has their own way. But there are some things that you really need to decide on before you start taking this journey up front that'll save you time and headache in the long run. This little guy is a Fab Fee color, and it's a male. Fab Fees are feather sexable, and we'll get into what that means in just a minute. So the first thing to decide is, do you want wire cages with a rollout so the eggs can roll out like this one right here has? Do you want a wire cage that's not a rollout, that's a regular hutch? Something else to consider, do you want your quail indoor, or do you want your quail or an outdoor aviary? With the wire cages, you got to make sure that your wire is really good quality, PVC coated, or you sand the wire. You sand the wire with a like a 220 or a 500 grit sandpaper so that it's really smooth to resist what they call bumblefoot. Bumblefoot is a cut on the pad of the quail that gets infected, and it's actually a staph infection. Now we're going to talk about feather sexable. If you're a beginner, feather sexable quail, in my opinion, is the best way to go. Feather sexable quail, like this hen in my hand, have speckles on their chest, just like that. Whereas your males on a standard jumbo, this will be a rust color, solid rust color with no speckles. The next thing you really need to decide is whether you want pets, or you want meat and eggs, or you want both. Quail are an excellent source for eggs, especially right now. They're a lot smaller, so there's actually two styles of quail, the Coturnix quail, that you can get. The Coturnix quail comes in a standard and a jumbo. Standard quail get 8 to 10 ounces. Jumbo, and as much as 13 ounces most of the time. The jumbo quail can get almost a pound, almost a full 16 ounces a lot of the time. So you need to focus on that. If you want meat, if you're looking for meat and eggs, your jumbo quail will be the way to go. If you want pretty, you're probably going to have to go more standard. The Fab Fees that I raise are from a standard lot. Being a standard quail egg is smaller than the jumbo quail eggs most of the time by a few grams. It's usually 4 quail eggs equals 1 chicken egg. If you go jumbos, sometimes you can get away with 3 eggs for 1 chicken egg. It's all about the gram weight that you can calculate how many eggs you're going to need based on how much they weigh. Something else to consider, are you going to set up an auto water system, Or are you going to water these birds every day? How big do you want your operation to be will dictate how you want your watering systems to be. I have an auto watering system. It's in these two buckets back here. I have a toilet bowl float that I have plumbed into a PEX line that I've got ran in my barn. That fills the bucket up, and the bucket gravity feeds down to the white drinker. Now I use two styles of drinkers. I've got the pointing down chicken nipple, or I've got the water cup. That's user discretion. There's no right or wrong answer there. Whatever gives your bird water is what they need. Now let's talk about feed. So on my farm, because I have exotic game birds also, we buy solid 30% protein. My exotic game birds require 26%. My regular ringneck pheasant require 24%. Quail, the Coturnix quail, will thrive on anything above, say, 20%. You can go down a little bit lower, but expect your egg production to drop off somewhat. Now we're going to talk about light. So, in order for hen quail to lay eggs continuously, they have to have about 14 to 16 hours of light per day. In my barn, we run heat and fans. We got exhaust fans, and I run lights on a timer on the wall. So all my lights turn on at 5 a.m. and shut off at 8 o'clock at night. If you don't supplement light and you have an outdoor cage, as the days start becoming shorter in wintertime, you'll start losing egg production. You might still get one or two, or they could stop completely. It's normally about 2 weeks after you start supplementing light that they start laying again. So light's important if you're having Coturnix quail for meat and eggs.